Welcome back to YA at Heart.
Plus Alexa.
Yes! She's made it.
I know. I can't believe I'm here.
Yay.
Like, I can't believe it. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
I'm so excited.
You're our first, like, official guest of the podcast. Not like an extra content episode or anything like that, but an actual person that we can also kiki with about one of our favorite books.
Who's also kind of like a co-host for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, you've read the book and everything, so.
No. I mean, yeah, I read the book a while ago.
No.
I'm sorry. Well, I keep forgetting. We're kind of catching up. Or we're playing catch up, so. But so far, so good. And it looks like we're going to be going straight through this series, thanks to Alexa.
I'm so excited. No, Alexa, because I was right behind you. I was like, I have to get Morgan to, like, continue. This is...
Like, the thing is, though, is that, like, you can't not continue on to the next book. Like, if you were gonna finish it, you should have just stopped at the first book, but you can't continue on and then not do the third one. You could stop at the third one. Like, there's not too much of a cliffhanger on that
wait a
one,
minute.
so
Lies.
you should be okay.
Lies, because I told you. I think I did. I told you. I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll do something else after A Court of Thorns and Roses. And you were like, no, you have to go right into A Court of Mist and Fury. And that's what we did. And now a bitch is stuck. I can't read anything else.
Well, it was mostly selfish reasons on my part, because I really wanted you to react to A Court of Mist and Fury.
Got it. You got your way.
I mean, if I had my Instagram account when I was doing A Court of Mist and Fury, you better believe that would have been one of my reactions.
Well, on that note then, let us go ahead and jump into the last 9 chapters of A Court of Mist
only 9
and
chapters
Fury.
left?
Yeah, girl, it was
Yeah.
60 through 69. You probably forgot because you just blew right past that mark where we're supposed to stop.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
I blew right past that. Morgan was
Yeah,
like,
we
so
know.
we're gonna stop. She's like, we're gonna stop at 59, and I'm like, in my cousin, like, yeah, no. I'm gonna keep going.
Just like this. This is why I can't with you. This is why I can't. So starting with chapter 60, if you could even remember what happened, Ashley, since you finished it 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. So this is basically right after Farah flayed the
Filleted, oh my god, the Ator. He's like, you said extra crispy, right?
Yes, super crispy.
Like, one of the best parts in the entire book is when she flays the Ator. Like, it's like up there with one of my favorite moments. Like,
she was straight flayed.
Bruh, we caught her. What did we in the last episode? We said she was Jack. She was doing all of her powers and stuff, and now it's like the aftermath. So they're trying to clean up the city and stuff like that. But of course, Reese is super proud of her, as are we. I wanted to mention that too. Like, I like that this book is more of her coming back to herself. Her coming into her own again, like refinding her power. Not like literally because she has power, but regaining her power back. In a sense from everything that happened to her beforehand.
I think I really like this book for the fact being that she was in such a like a dark, depressive state in the beginning of it. Yeah. And with the help of the inner circle and Reese and everybody, she kind of was able to pull herself out of it and now step into her own as a high fae. Where before she was human and struggling, and like that was why Tampon loved her so much. And like now,
okay, but we're not gonna breeze past the fact that you just called him Tampon because that's what the entire community calls him.
That's legit
right?
where I picked it up from. I was like, because at first when we first started reading the book and we were like falling in love with Tamlin, I was just kind of like, well, why is the fandom like, why do they keep calling him Tampon? Like, what's going on? I don't fucking understand this shit. Then I got to this book, and I was like, by the end of it, I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, so y'all really don't like him. I get it now.
I was like, I got it now.
Yeah. We're going to have to come up with a different name for him, too. Call him something different. We got to work on it.
She's a bitch.
There's a lot of people that want him redeemed.
Okay, so that's something that I want to. Okay, we'll talk about that at the end.
At the end,
because like when we're going over our final review. But that's definitely something that I wanted to talk about as well and get your you guys' opinion on. So with the rest of this chapter, it kind of sums itself up pretty quickly. Amryn like ends up decoding the rest of the book.
Thank God.
And she says that it took her long
enough. It took her long enough.
Like, the whole whole book, she's like decoding this book, and you're like, come on already. I thought you were supposed to be able to read this ancient language.
Exactly. Why did it take you so long? I mean,
and it's not like you like to hang out with people and shit, so you're not doing anything else. But then she spends all this time decoding the book, and I was really upset because we don't even get to know the phrase that Feyre is supposed to say to nullify the cauldron.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm like, you made such a big deal out of it, and this ancient language, and all this shit that she has to do, and you're not even going to tell me the phrase that she has to say? I'm annoyed.
No,
but
because Sarah J. Maas, like, couldn't come up with another language. Like, she's not a language person. Like, any of her other books don't really have other languages either.
Okay.
Right? So, like, she probably didn't want to come up with, like, a whole language, because if you're a writer, like, you're going to have to write more than just one thing in that language. Like, she would have had to write, like, an entire book about, like, what each word would mean and stuff like that. So,
she would have had to she would have had to have, like, a glossary in the back or something.
Yeah, so that would just been too much work. So I don't blame her, considering that it's such a small part.
That was such a good loophole, though. Like, because when it came to Feyre actually doing it, it didn't happen. So, like...
Did you know that you could take High Valyrian on Google, or what is it? Duo language or whatever? The app?
No. Wait.
No.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, wait.
That's just a side thing.
Can you explain how you stumbled upon this?
I downloaded Duo so I could learn Spanish and Italian and French and Japanese all at one time. And of course, it didn't happen.
Okay.
But then I saw High Valyrian and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. Let me add it to the roster. And never did it. That's beside the point, Ashley. We're talking about damn book.
I mean, people learn, like, other languages. Like, they learn, like, Klingon and stuff from, like, Star Trek.
People have learned... Wait, what is it? People have learned from Game of Thrones, Dothraki?
Right?
Dothraki.
Dothraki. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I get it. It's a lot of work for it to become a whole thing. So I guess that kind of like takes the edge off the annoyance.
A little bit.
Also, one of my favorite parts of chapter 60, Rhys gives Feyre his mom's ring.
He gifts it to her, but this chick doesn't put it on.
Well, that's because of... Okay, listen, all right?
There's
a reason.
She was like Sarah Jessica Parker in Sex and the City. She's like, I'm just not a ring type of girl. Like...
She says she likes the ring, and she wants to wear it, and she wants to, like, do all those things, like, have the bond, I guess, authorized
ceremony,
by a priestess. She wants to have a ceremony. She wants to have a wedding, or whatever it is. But she says she wants to do that after they get back from Hybern, because they're supposed to be going to Hybern.
I mean, in reality, what it was a promise. It was just basically like, all right, we're looking forward to this future together.
Yeah. So after, this is secured,
Right, exactly.
So I get that. Like, she wants to have something to look forward to or coming back from or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get into chapter 61 where they actually go to Hybern. And the plan was, I think it was that Rhys was going to stay behind or kind of like stay further out so that the king couldn't like smell his scent.
So basically if Rhys was in there, King Hybrid could sense his presence. But everybody else, Mor, Az, and Cass are the ones that are going in with Feyre to help her. Amren is also staying outside. No, she was... Okay, Amren stayed in Valaris. Mm-hmm. She stayed in Valaris to basically protect Valaris. She's the last line of defense for Valaris.
She's one of my favorites so far.
I want more. If Amren could have her own book, that's what I want.
Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I
would not be opposed to Amren's story because we know very little about her. And what we do know about her is scary as fuck.
I think it's intriguing and mysterious. I want more.
I want a prequel. Like, I don't need to know more about her life now.
That's what I'm like, her life before.
Right, that's what I mean. Yes.
Like, I want her life before, when she was like living in the jail, and like how she like lived in the jail, and then how she got out and like became a part of the inner circle. Like,
yeah, that's what I want.
How did that come a part of it? Because that just seems really weird to me. Like, she's super powerful and just there. So
everything that made Amren right now, the one that we know now, everything that happened to her prior is what I want to know.
You think we can petition her for that?
I would love to. Let's do it.
I don't know. There's a lot to wrap up in this series, and there's not a lot of books left, so there's not a lot of books left.
Hold up. Yeah, girl, we still haven't done the TOG series. Crescent City is sitting on myself.
There's not a lot of books left in terms of like her ACOTAR series. I think there's only like 2 full-length books left and then 1 novella. That's all she's writing for the rest of the series.
I have a whole bunch of books on my shelf I need to read.
You have an addiction.
Me too.
I have an addiction? You have an addiction. I didn't even have A Court of Wings of Ruin. I had to go out and buy that.
You didn't buy the set?
I bought everything.
No.
So when we agreed to do ACOTAR, I bought all of them in one shot. I spent
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for A Court of Silver Flames because I want it in paperback. I don't want the hardback version. Anywho. Oh, damn. We're way off topic.
We really are. This just went way left.
Okay, so anywho, wrapping up chapter 61, they finally get to the castle.
What do you think about their plan, though? Like, what did you think about their plan?
Their plan fucking
It's not planned out.
It's not planned out thoroughly. Their plan was,
agree.
okay, we're going to go in there. We're going to fuck up these guards.
This plan is definitely Cassian thought out. Like, Cass thought this
Yeah.
crap out, and they were like, all right, cool,
Yes.
we going. Like,
Cass was just like brute force
that's
and
it.
ironclad will. And I was like,
Just because Velaris got attacked, that doesn't mean that you need to, like, go ahead with, like, a stupid plan. Like, I don't know. I felt like they felt the whole book was so super planned, and then they were just like, let's charge forward.
Yeah.
yes, thank you. That was one of the issues that I had with this during the ending, because it was just like, you guys have been so strategic throughout this entire book, and now it's just like your feathers get like a little bit ruffled and you just like all caution goes out the window.
I get what you're saying. I do. I feel like I kind of feel the same way. They did mention that they do believe it's a trap, and yet they still went anyway. You still went anyway. That was the issue. You believe it's a trap, and you still went.
I still don't understand what the rush was. Like,
Neither
Right.
do I.
it
Yeah.
could have waited at least a day. Like, it could have waited until you figured out something else.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact is, later on in some of the, or what is it? I can't remember what chapter it is. I think it's like chapter 63 or 64. We find out the King of Hybern's like, oh yeah, I didn't even need the book. Y'all were completely
Yeah.
off my radar until you fucking started looking for it. And I was like,
Oh my god, when he said that, I was like, you dick.
y'all have gotta be fucking kidding me
I
right
was like, you dick. Just to continue with chapter 61, they make it to the shores of Hybern. The people that are supposed to go into the castle do. So that's Feyre, Moore, Cass, and Az. Rhys
Yeah.
stands outside. Feyre as the metal detector or the supernatural detector that she is.
Yeah.
She just goes
Yep.
ahead and they let her feel it out, and she leads them to the exact room that the cauldron is in. It ain't like Daddy Kane is hiding that shit. He's not hiding. It's like right there. It's right there.
And that's even more of a like, so this is a trap.
Oh my god, yes. The moment that happened, I was like, guys, turn around.
Right. And the fact that the cauldron is like not like a typical like Halloween candy
No.
cauldron or witch's brouhaha cauldron. That shit is a bathtub.
So moving on to chapter 62, once they find the cauldron, this is where shit just okay.
So I have a question. Amryn told this bitch. Amryn, who studied the book, who it took her 2 weeks maybe to decode this entire fucking language, told her, do not put the two halves together.
What's the first thing Feyre does? What's the first thing she does? I'm gonna put them together.
Because the cauldron said to, like...
Facts. Oh my god, okay. The moment that happened, while she still had like some type of consciousness where she still knew what she was doing, she should have been like, oh shit, Cass, get me out of here. Oh shit, Moore, get me out of here. Like something smart. You know what I mean? Instead, she's just like, just a little bit, just a little more. It was legit almost like watching what's his name with like My Precious. I was like, dude.
Schmeagle.
I was like, dude.
This bitch, every time I think that she's gonna make a rational decision.
Oh, you just have to accept that Feyre is the most irrational person, and it just makes the series way more fun to read, because you're just like, she's gonna make the worst decision at every single moment,
Oh
and
god.
you just can't get away from it.
We should turn that into a game when we're reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. Like, I bet you she's gonna do this stupid shit, and whoever's wrong has to take a shot on the podcast.
Yes. Yep. I'm down for that. Let's do that.
I love Feyre, but she's not the brightest person. And you know what? That's okay, because she's only
not.
19. She's 19. You gotta give her a break.
I'm trying. Like, I try, but it's just sometimes it's like, She does a lot. She does a lot, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So what happens? Azriel has to pull her off because she's having a whole fucking blackout episode where she does not remember anything.
Yep.
And then, of course, who do they run into? Or basically, who runs into them?
Jermaine!
Fucking Jermaine, who is live
Jermaine.
in the flesh.
Jurian.
But he's standing there with this big old Cheshire grin on his face, like, haha, gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha.
Right here.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, I have a question too, because it's like, I understand that Big Daddy Kane wanted to resurrect him, but my thing was like, he kind of went crazy, right?
Oh, yes.
He kind of went crazy, even before he had like that whole fight and he died. Then he was tortured and he was killed by Antigen. And then after that, he was also... he was also... Yes, Antigen. Antigen fucked him up. And then she put him into a little glass ring and had his consciousness or whatever alive and was torturing him for like thousands and thousands of years later. So why would he now go back and work for Big Daddy Kane? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Even though they tried to pin it on like him trying to find Miriam and everything like that.
Love is a really big thing though.
Yeah, I get it. Like she was the love of your life and you couldn't let that go. That's fine. You can go find her on your own. You can go ask Reese. So it just didn't seem like a big motivator for him to like want to join forces with him. Or maybe like, I don't know. That's what it felt like to me.
I felt like it was a good enough motivator. I felt like for me, I felt like he was like at his peak with Miriam, and like that was, like you said, the love of his life. Like he adored her, he whatever, and then he lost her to the Fae Prince.
Drake.
And then ultimately, like, he went through that whole situation with Anthrax, and then like his mind is just gone. And I'm sure that like the only thing that his obsessive mind is stuck on is Miriam.
Yeah, like I always thought when he first came back, he wasn't like completely like human, like completely himself, because of being tortured for so many years that like he only had a one-track mind, and like, you know, Hybern was gonna give him that like one thing that he wanted, so it made sense to like work with him because he didn't really care about anything else, right? No one really helped him get his soul away from Amarantha, especially for the 50 years they were stuck. Like,
yeah, and for those 50 years while he's being tortured, for those 50 years while he was stuck and like watching Amarantha do what she did and like torturing his soul the way she was doing it, I'm sure all he thought about was Miriam. Yeah. Like, how do I get back to Miriam? How do I get out of this? How do I get back to her? How do I get back to the love of my life? How do I get her back?
And it's a really big theme of this book because it's not just with Jurian, it's with someone else as well, which I won't bring up until we get to those chapters, but it's like the same, story. It's the exact same story. Do you notice that? That like, it's kind of like foreshadowing that event.
Parallel! Oh, yes! Oh my god!
Shit.
I literally didn't
about it.
I literally didn't until you fucking... Oh, okay. That makes it 1,000 times better.
That, like, basically it's, like, love is, like, it's, like, a one-track mind, and, like, that's the only thing that matters to these certain people, and, like, that's what the whole story is about. I mean, you think about Reese, think about Jurian, and now think about Tamlin. Like...
Damn. This is true.
It's a repeat, but this time starring Tampon and Reese Cup.
Like, love is supposed to...
make everything better.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's almost as if love is the cure to everything, and like, there's no self-work that you have to do. Yeah. Or there's no, like, oh, let me be happy on my own, and then whoever it is that comes along compliments that. It's legit, like, I'm not happy until I have you, until you're here, until you're with me, and that's it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's real, Joe-type vibes from you.
Yeah. So for me, it made sense what Jurian was doing, but that's just my opinion. Like, I think it made sense for him to work with Hybern.
No, now that you've wrapped it up like that, I agree. Also, did anybody catch, because I caught this and I was kind of wondering why, the book called her Princess of Carrion, which is basically Princess of Death?
Feyre?
Yeah, girl.
Maybe it's foreshadowing.
You think she's gonna die again?
She did die, so maybe that's why
you're right.
It's referencing.
You're right.
Because she did die,
okay.
and then she was brought back.
That makes more sense. Because in my mind, I was like, is this bitch fitting to die again?
Okay.
Like, she can't. There's 3 more books, but goddamn.
I mean, if she pulled, like, a Divergent thing where they kill the main character, like, that would be... Like, don't you think more people would be pissed about that? Like, you know that she
Yes, I suffered
yeah.
through how many books, and then this chick decides to kill...
Yeah.
Bruh,
nah.
we're not even gonna talk about how Veronica Roth ripped my fucking heart from my chest and spat on it.
I will tell you, Feyre does not die, okay? She does not die. Okay. I won't tell you if anyone else dies.
I don't like how you're emphasizing that. I don't like it. All right, chapter 63.
Oh yeah, chapter 63. So basically, Jurian like sneaks up and he's just kind of like, bitches, we got you. Like, y'all just, we here and we got you. You stuck. Mm-hmm. So then ultimately, King Hybern makes an appearance and he's
actually not that bad looking, apparently.
No, and the fan casting, I'm like, ugh.
I was like, I see it now. I see it now.
I mean, you
who could also play the King of Hybern? Ben Barnes.
Oh my god! Okay, you can't make Ben Barnes like 2 major villains though. Like, that's just like,
why not? But he's so damn good at it. He's so good at it.
He's really good at it.
Can we petition for that though? Can we petition?
Oh, absolutely we can.
Yes.
Absolutely we can. Yeah, I have a few thoughts for her series, so I'll let her know. But yeah, we finally get to meet him, and then Jurian, of course, is going off on the rip about like how he watched Rhys do terrible things and he's a terrible person, shit like that, because he's all fucked up in the head, and he shoots.
He fucks
Azriel.
I was so upset with this.
In the chest.
I was so upset with this. I was like, but why baby Az? Why?
Like, I get it. I wouldn't want him to shoot Rhys. Shoot Cassian. Like, I love Cassian
That's
too.
Fucked up.
But, and listen, I love Cassian too, but if we were playing Marry, Fuck, or Kill, you gotta pick somebody.
Yeah, I would kill Az. I'm not gonna lie, so...
Damn!
You would kill Azriel?
Yeah. I would...
Why?
No, my thing is I would, like marry Cassian, like, fuck Rhys, and kill Azriel. Yeah. You haven't gotten to a Court of Silver Flames yet, so...
I was about to say that. Hold on. I was about to say that. I was ready to be like, yeah, hold up, because... the 5th book or something, it's all about Cass.
Okay, so then what happens to Feyre?
They just finish Feyre's story, so she's like in the story. She's just a side character.
The perspective has switched.
That's actually kind of cool.
That's all it is.
I like
that.
Yeah, okay. So the perspective has switched from one couple to the other.
Oh my god. Is it a Nesta Cassian story?
Maybe.
This is why, like, I couldn't wait. Once I got the interaction of them in this book, and I'm sure we'll get more of it in the next book, I was like, I cannot wait to read their love story. I was like, I can't wait.
It's about to be feisty. Okay.
It's about to be feisty.
I mean, I could kind of tell you that now, like, that you know what has happened at the end of A Court of Mist and Fury, because before it was, like, really hard to, like, explain why they get together, but, like, now you can kind of see, like, why that happens.
Yeah. No, you definitely can at the end of this one.
She is Fae, and now their mating bond has snapped into place.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, also, really fucked up thing that happens at the end of this chapter. The King of Hybrid is speaking to, I guess, the room in general, and he says, oh, now that I've held up my part of the bargain, you guys have to come through with your part of the bargain. And who steps out of the fucking shadows? Who steps out of the shadows, Ashley? Who called it Ashley?
This, let me tell you, when I read this part, I legit texted Morgan and I was like, fuck Lucian. And Nate can have him. I was done.
And that's how I knew. That's how I knew shit was real, because Ashley rides for Lucian so hard.
I ride hard for this damn character, and I was so pissed. I was like, no. I wasn't surprised about Tamlin. Morgan called it. She was like, you know, throughout the whole time we've been doing this book, she's like, I bet you he's working for Big Daddy Kane. I guarantee you he's working for Big Daddy Kane. And I'm like, let me give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure it's all just a Nath, blah, 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 whatever. And I was riding hard for Lucian. Yeah. I would die on that hill for Lucian. And then here we come, and I'm like, damn it.
Here she come rolling down the hill.
Right, dead. Shit.
I can't believe you guys called that so early on. Like, when I was listening and you guys were talking about that, I was like, how did they call that so early? Because that was such a twist when I was reading it. I was blindsided. I couldn't believe that Tamlin walked in. I was like, I can't.
It just felt like from what Rhys told us early on, like he has close ties to Hybern. And then also from him being so open with Feyre in the first book, to him being very closed off and hush hush and no, you can't be in the room when us, men are talking or us generals doing this and that. Like, I was like, okay, he's obviously keeping something very big from her.
I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt so badly. I was like, all right, look. I was like, I know he's being a dick. I know that, like, there's a lot of red flags. Like, he living on a whole red continent and stuff. But I was just like, no, this is stepping the line. I was like, after this, I don't even know. Like, Morgan said one time, she was like, you're dead to me. Like, that's it. You're dead. I was like, no.
I couldn't.
No, but then in the next chapter, you realize why he did it.
Yeah.
And to me...
for love.
To me, it pissed me off even more. Because I, sat there, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're willing to throw away.
Like, he's throwing not only his own court under the bus, he's throwing, all of Perithian under the bus. And you're like, for one person, that's not even your mate.
Right! Say it again for the people in the fucking back, please.
Meanwhile, what did Feyre do for him? She died not just for him, but for everybody under that damn mountain.
Exactly.
For everybody, for all of Perinthian.
Well, she was human. Like, she went through all of these trials, not knowing that she's going to come out alive, figuring that she's going to die, leaves her safe house, her safe family, to go and, save him. And he does nothing while he was there. And then, comes back and treats her like this. And you're just like, you don't deserve her.
It's the two different loves for me. It's the selfish love that Tamlin has and the selfless love that Feyre has.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So, hold on. Wait, what else did he do? Oh, right. He tries to reach for Feyre to winnow out.
Oh, and she was like, nope.
She was like, skirt. And Rhys was like, bop, bop. Rhys gave him a 2-piece and an uppercut.
While still holding on to Az, he punched the fuck out of him. I was like, bet.
I was like, damn. That was the punch that I've been waiting for since book 1.
Yes.
So yeah, and Feyre makes a good point as well, because she brings this up later, or Rhys brings this up later. She's like, if you take me from my mate, I will destroy you and everything you love. Mm-hmm. So I want to catalog that for later, because that was a twist that I didn't see coming at the end. And then the King of Hybern was like, everybody settle down.
This man.
You're not going to do shit. And then brings in Nesta and Elaine.
Oh my God, when this happened, I was stuck.
I was pissed. Okay, I couldn't even be scared or upset. I was pissed because if Elaine had took her fucking ass to Valaris,
facts,
her and Nesta would not have been in this fucking situation. You would have been in the townhouse, which is warded and protected. But no, you want to be with your boring ass, lame ass, dumb ass, fate hunting ass fiance and shit. For what, bitch?
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to edit that.
Exactly.
No, don't edit that. Leave it in. Leave it. Because that's exactly what it was.
I couldn't blame the King of Hybern. I couldn't blame the mortal queens who brought them in. All I could do was blame Elaine, because this was your decision. Nesta stayed for you.
And yet in the book, it is Anaith that they say basically went ahead, had gotten all the information from Feyre, and was the one that related to Hybern to then. I completely agree with you. If they weren't at the manor, he wouldn't have had them.
Because they would have been in Valaris, and then even if they attacked, Feyre still would have, been against the Ator, and they would have saved the city, and, the sisters would have been safe.
Exactly. So, in the book, they're blaming it on Anaith, stating that she had gotten the information from Feyre, relied it to King Hybern, and then he was able to get the sisters.
I mean, it is Anaith's.
It's everybody's fault, but it's Elaine's fault. I will die on that hill. You can fight me on that.
I mean, Anaith is kind of the catalyst, right? She's you should go to Hybern. You should get him for his help to Tamlin and stuff, right? Feyre shouldn't have trusted her. She knew from the beginning. Feyre herself was I shouldn't be trusting this person. Yes. But I have no friends. So then she just told her everything, not thinking about that.
Bitch, you better write it down in the goddamn diary. We don't have time for this.
she tells her all this information before she goes to the night court for the first time.
This is true.
And learns how to read and write.
That is true.
So, I mean, she needed someone to talk to about, but why not Alice? Come on.
Oh my God, yes, that would have been a perfect alternative. Right. Alice,
Mama Alice loves you.
Yes,
Mama Alice has no qualms with hearing you bitch about your shit. Like,
Mama Alice knew you was making a mistake at your wedding.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Mama Alice knew.
I don't know why they couldn't have just changed Alice's job description and just been like her lady's maid or whatever, where she just like sticks by her all the time.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll happen in book 3, because I know Alice helped her escape when Moore came for her. So maybe Alice realizes now, ooh, Tamlin isn't about shit. I need to protect Feyre. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more of her in book 3.
If his kingdom don't know he shit yet, y'all blind. Y'all fucking blind.
Everybody in book 1 was like, man, you a big ass bitch.
No one likes Tamlin, not even his court. I mean, that scene in, like, when he goes for, like, the tariffs or whatever it's called, I can't remember. But when they go and they have to give him stuff, like, no one likes him. Everyone hates him.
Yeah, for the tithe. Yeah.
So moving on to chapter 65, basically chapter 64, the end was the sisters coming in. Chapter 65 is basically King Hybern being like, okay, so what we're gonna do is, because the queens also came in last chapter, and basically what he was doing was he was gonna experiment with the sisters, throw them in the cauldron, and he was like, oh, they're strong-willed, they'll make it, and when they come out, they'll be high fae, and I can do that to you. You guys can no longer be mortal, and you guys can be high fae, and that was our deal, and you guys can live forever, and it'll be amazing, and you can have your pick of any of the high fae men that are out here. And I was like,
did they have these two women sign consent forms before they just dipping them in the boiling black liquid?
It was too much.
The queens wanting to become fae, like, it was like you spent so much time like refusing to help the humans, even though you're human.
Thank
you. And then you're like, now I want to become fae, and because why?
It's because at least what I got out of it was it seemed like they wanted to the young queens wanted to live forever, and the older queens wanted to basically not age. So I guess, I don't know, somehow they wanted to regress aging and be able to be young again and then be immortal at the same time. And I was just kind of like, you guys kind of asking for a lot. You've lived your lives.
I feel like as a young person, it's cool to say like you want to live forever. Like,
right.
Forever is a long time.
This is a fucking long time to live with your mistakes and past transgressions.
I mean, shall we bring up Addie LaRue? Because that was...
Let's not. Let's fucking not.
Oh, no.
Let's not.
You guys know how I feel about Addie LaRue.
You know how we feel about Addie LaRue.
I know, but the way you get makes me laugh. That's just...
That's not funny, because I immediately went from happy to annoyed.
But we're talking about, to be honest though, just like putting the whole story that we weren't okay with to the side. Mm-hmm. The main thing though that we're talking about is living forever. And Addie was somebody who was young who decided to live forever. And like we just said, as the queens... Yeah. Right? They wanted the young queens wanting to live forever. You're not thinking it through. You're not thinking about like...
Maybe they need to read that book.
Yeah, but the older queens that are like 50 or 60 years old, like, come on now.
Yeah, but like, I think for them, it's not the immortality, it's the aging. They want to relive their youth as a high fae. So after everybody's their hands are tied. Nobody can really do anything. So then ultimately the king is like, tells one of his guards, he's like, hey, yo, throw the pretty one in first. And I'm like,
when he said, I was like, dude, he the fuck did not.
Elaine ends up being dropped into the cauldron. She's in there for a couple minutes, I think. At least that's how I'm perceiving it. And then they push the cauldron over and she spills out. And when she spills out, she is now high fae. Lucian's mating bond fucking snaps into place, and I was like, wait, hold on.
He's like, don't just leave her on the floor, for God's sake. And then that's when he says, put the Hellcat in. And Nesta,
oh my God, when he said put the Hellcat in, Nesta fought tooth and nail. I was like, that is my bitch.
She was scratching. She was trying to bite with her like thing in. She was kicking. She was trying to throw punches. Like, Nesta was throwing bows, bro. Nesta was not
and this is why she is the perfect person for Cassian.
Have you guys read the extra scene from A Court of Mist and Fury about Cassian and Nesta? Okay, I'm gonna send it to you after this. I'll send it to you after this. And it's just the Nesta and Cassian chapter about like when Cassian goes to visit about the letters and stuff about the Pleiadians. And then he comes back all mad and he won't say why. It's like kind of like that.
Oh my god.
And so it's very cute.
Okay, yeah. Please send that to us. When she comes out of the cauldron, Feyre is like, before Nesta realizes like fully what she is now, or like comes to terms with it, she can feel like this immense power radiating off of her. And I was like, oh shit. I definitely can't wait to read more about that. But then she's like, she kind of snaps out of it, and Lucian is like, Elaine, you're my mate. And I'm like, oh, first of all this trauma just happened. Could you not?
The mating bond is like a really strong piece of magic.
But let's go back to the Hellcat. That's Nesta. Did we talk about her finger?
Oh my gosh, her finger.
Please, because I completely forgot about that. As she was like kicking and shoving and trying to like get from out of the water, but she had her finger like pointing,
like telling the king, I'm getting you. You fucked. That's what she told him.
Heads will roll. I was like, oh my god, Nesta.
Yes.
Do I like you? Do I like Nesta?
I do. A lot actually right now. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is the point where you started liking Nesta. Like, you can't not.
We agreed that we found her interesting at the end of A Court of Thorn and Roses because of what she did after Feyre went with Tamlin. But this, where she kicked and screamed and scraped, or when she called out the queens, I was like, yes. I was like, they turned the right chick into a fucking high fae. I was like, oh yes, most definitely.
So that pretty much ends chapter 65 with Lucian being like, Elaine, you're my mate. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That threw me for a loop. I was like, come on. Tomatoes. So then, moving on to chapter 66, Rhys is basically going to try to, he was going to try to bargain. And like bargain with the king and see if he could get everybody out there. But ultimately, Feyre, she's able to get out of the spell, and then she looks at Rhys and she's like, all right, we're gonna play a game. She pretends that Rhys had held her mind and that she's coming out of it, and oh my god, she loves Tamlin, and take me back home, take me back to the Spring Court. What am I doing here? I don't remember the last couple months or the last year. Rhys picks this shows the type of connection they have. Rhys picks up on this shit. He picks up on it and he starts playing. And what does he do? Does it say that he puts his hands in his pocket? Because I feel like that was his signature move. Thank you.
He doesn't get the piece of invisible lint off this time. He just puts the hands in his pocket.
The piece of invisible lint.
So what she's trying to do, what do you call it? She's trying to break the ward. The wards. Yeah. That are hanging around, that is preventing. Yeah, it's preventing people from winnowing. So what she tells the king to do is she tells the king to break the bond.
I'm sorry. I literally teared up at that moment. I was like, bitch, no, you can't break the bond.
But she feels like that's the ultimate sacrifice that she can make in order to make sure that the inner circle, everybody she loves, everybody she considers family, to be able to get out and leave. So she asked the king to break the bond. He thinks he can do it, so he does it, and she says that it's super painful.
Yeah, that goes into chapter 67, where she was like, she actually fainted. She passed out from it. And she looked over at Rhys, and Rhys was like heavy breathing, like had that feral look in his eyes, like what the fuck just happened? I was like, well, how are they gonna get it back? How do you get the bond back? Because this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't like this. Like, you gave me this beautiful couple to rip them away from me. And I'm hurt. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Okay. You're just going to send, I'm hurt, to Sarah J. Maas. Just like, send that to her.
DM her that crap. I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. Crying emojis.
That's it.
Right.
So, right, like you said, 67, they're both like just looking at each other. They're both like, oh crap. Well, not oh crap, but Feyre knows like, all right, the bond's gone. She starts to try to like talk to Rhys. She's like, get everybody out. I got rid of the wards, get everybody out. Of course, there's nothing that goes back to her. Like, he's not answering.
Because their bond is gone.
Right, exactly. And ultimately, what ends up happening is they do get out. Like, Rhys picks up on it. He's like, yeah, all right, let's go. And Moore immediately realizes, oh, the wards are down. I'm winnowing out of this bitch. She winnows everybody out. Everybody's gone. Feyre's left with
including
Tamlin.
her sisters.
Including the sisters. That was the best
thing. And Lucian's
thing.
like, get them back.
Oh my God, Lucian was like feral about it. He was just like, I need my mate. Get her back. I was like, dude.
His shit. Like, you just fucking met her, bro. Like, calm down.
Okay, but think about this now. So at the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, Rhys was feeling like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then now you're seeing like Lucian feeling like this, and you're like, damn, how much restraint does Rhys have? Knowing
Let it all
that
go.
that's how you feel. And then Lucian freaking like acts like a feral person, and Rhys just stumbled back.
That's
like
crazy.
Think about that.
Ultimately, Lucian is like looking at Tamlin like, yo, you need to go back and get my mate. Like, this ain't it. Tamlin's like, I already got what I wanted. We could just go home.
He's such a horrible friend.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, you are such a dickhead. Like, your supposed best friend is like feral as shit. Like, his mate is gone. And he's like telling her, he's telling you we need to get her back. We need to get her back. And like, you was just like, well, I already got Feyre. Like, that's all I really wanted. We out. Like, what?
Yeah, only Tamlin's love is important, not Lucian's apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is fucking sucky because we all, like, Lucian's back history. He lost somebody he really loved, killed in front of him. And you're telling me now that he sees, like, because of the bond, I'm sure he sees this happiness. He sees this, like, I could be happy. Like, this could be it. And I'm telling you, as my friend, as my brother in arms, help me get her back. And you're telling me, I already got Feyre. We good. We going back to Spring Court. Bye.
He looked at him and he's like, nah.
Legit.
He's like, you barely know this girl. Like, you can pine for her for some more time, okay? Like,
exactly.
Right. And she'll probably appreciate you more then. And then before they winnow back to the Spring Court, Feyre looks all them fucking haggy bitches in the face. Yes, mortal queens, I'm talking about you. And she's like, you will burn. I will light the, what is it, the pyre? Or the pyre? I think it's pyre. I don't know. Pyre. It's a stack of wood that you put the fucking people on and you burn them to death.
A pyre. A pyre.
Pyre. Okay,
Yeah.
You had me fucking saying pyre.
No, I didn't realize what you were saying.
I was trying to... Fuck it. She's like, I'm gonna light that bitch myself.
Another thing that happens before they end up back at the Spring Court, the king is like, he's looking at Feyre and he's like, you know, the book of breathing. Like, you had it. You were wielding it and stuff. And she just looks at him. She looks him dead in the face and she's like, you're a mistake. I was like, oh, okay.
Please. Okay, wait. Have you seen the Star Wars prequels, like Revenge of the Sith, where he becomes Darth Vader? Oh, bitch! I had such a perfect reference.
I might have seen like bits and parts of it, but definitely not the whole thing.
I had such a perfect reference because there's a part where he finally becomes Darth Vader, and Lord Sidious is like, "Oh yeah, Padme, like his wife." He's like, "Oh yeah, Padme's dead. You killed her in a fit of rage." And he's like, "No, she was here. I felt it. I felt her energy." I was like, that's how the King of Hybern was acting with that fucking book.
Exactly. For something he wasn't looking for.
Right. So then that moves into chapter 68, which was one of the most surprising chapters to me because we get a different POV.
Yes.
We get Daddy Rhys, Lord of Darkness, Court of Nightmares and Dreams, Bat Boy's point of view.
The first time.
And I had to slam the book shut. I was like,
I adored it.
The first time you get another person's point of view, and of course it's like Rhys's, and like he can kind of explain his point of view of what has happened is like perfect, because otherwise you would go into the next book like way more confused. Like you needed to know what was kind of going on before going into the next one.
Yeah, so basically chapter 68 is from Rhys's point of view. It picks up exactly where everybody ends up on the floor at the townhouse. Amran is like running around and she's like, what the hell happened? Where's Feyre? Like, what's going on? And Rhys is like, Feyre knew what was needed of her as you know, like to sacrifice to get you guys back here. And like Amran's like, go get her. It's like, go get your mate. What are you doing? And he basically admits that he and Feyre went out one night and they was like, you know what? We're going to make this official. And Feyre was deemed and sworn in as the High Lady of the Night Court.
First ever High Lady.
When I tell you I cried.
I read this chapter like twice. I was so excited for that. I was like, so you sat there and you were like, she is my equal. I'm going to make her my equal. She can sit on my throne, wear my crown, and be my equal. And Tamlin had this bitch sitting in a fucking foldable chair on his damn little dais and shit.
No. Because it's never been done before, right? Like, no one has ever had a high lady before. Like, that is not a thing. Like, they have the ladies of, like, the autumn court, the ladies of the night court, the lady of the spring court, but never a high lady. It's never been done
Reese
before.
was like, let me show y'all. He was like, let me show y'all how it's done.
Exactly.
Not the foldable chair.
He was like, she's high lady of the night court, guys, right here. Oh
but then he just pisses off his whole inner circle more because they're like, wait, so our high lady is a spy in the spring court? Like, what the hell, man?
Thank you. Because then everybody and their mom, Amran and more, everybody, they're like, so you're telling me my high lady is behind enemy lines? Are you fucking stupid?
He was like, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
They just lived how many years with, like, Reese under the mountain as, like, their high lord being, like, a spy or whatever, and then now they have freaking Feyre in the spring court being a spy. They just can't catch a break. The night court.
This inner circle is just like, guys, my heart can't take this no more. Y'all are doing too much.
Yeah.
Your heart can't take my fucking heart can't take this shit. That leads us into the last chapter of the book, chapter 69, and we get Feyre's point of view back at the spring court. And she is slapping it on thick with that performance for Tamlin, bitch.
Yes.
This bitch is going for the Academy Award. And Lucien is like, I ain't buying it.
Lucien is side-eyeing the shit out of her. He is like, all right, so you aren't upset that your sisters went with them. And he's like, and you're claiming that, like, Reese treated you horribly and stuff. And he's like, my mate, like, are you... Like, everything is, at the end of it, my mate.
Right, and Tamlin's like, shut the fuck up about your mate that you just met. Tamlin don't give a fuck. But Feyre basically says to herself, like, Tamlin doesn't know that he just let a fucking wolf into his house of hens. And she is there to fuck his shit up. Get all the secrets.
From the inside.
All the secrets from the inside. And he actually agrees to let her be a part of the meetings and stuff now. That kind of, okay, so that one little part where he's like, oh, I realized I was wrong and I'm so sorry and da-da-da-da. Like, I kind of felt for him. I was like, oh, he does know he fucked up. But my boy, you don't know just how much you fucked up. You about to feel this wrath.
Because at first, to be honest, like, if he would have said that and, like, what happened to her sisters didn't happen, then I would have been like, oh, you know, I have sympathy for you. Like, oh shit, like, you realize you fucked up. Maybe you could do better. But after you let Anaith do what she did, and, like, the sisters are now high fae, and no.
Oh my God, I just realized something. Why does every book end with Tamlin on his fucking knees begging for something not to happen?
Because he's a bitch.
He's like, please, stop. Meanwhile, everybody's up, like, fighting, like,
get up. You got a sword attached to you. Get up.
Stand up.
Because he's the real villain, okay? He's the real villain of the series, not Hybern. Tamlin. Tamlin is the real villain of the entire series, okay? I hate him so much.
You know what? And I believe it. I believe it.
So the best line the book ends with is, and so Tamlin unwittingly led the High Lady of the Night Court into the heart of his territory.
I will admit, like I said to Ashley beforehand, after reading the end and the cliffhanger and the way things, like, you know, wrapped up there, I was like, okay, yeah, I probably would have went directly into book 3.
See, I knew it. The moment I finished this book, I was like, we would have definitely walked right into it. The moment Morgan gets to this end, I was like, she's either going to text me or call me and be like, we're going to have to, like, just go into the third book.
Now you know why everyone on your poll voted for A Court of Wings and Ruin, because they were all like, well, you need to keep going. Like, the first 3 books you need to keep going. You can't stop.
Yeah.
I definitely voted. I voted.
Oh, I saw your vote. I saw you. You traitorous wretch.
I voted too.
I love
Well,
that so
I started reading Kingdom of the Wicked without you, so I hope you're happy now.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just read one of the other books without you.
I hate her.
So funny.
Okay, so final thoughts on this book. What would you rate it?
What is the max number?
The max is a 5-star.
10. 10.
What? Why are we even playing this game?
Why asking?
I hate you. I hate you. Thank you, Ashley, for once again doing the absolute fucking most.
Okay, well, if I can't do that, it's a 5. It's you know.
No, it's a 10 out of 5 for you.
It's a 10
It is
out of 5.
a improper fraction.
Most definitely.
It's a whole 2.
I would.
It's
It's a whole 2.
Oh.
So I think I would also rate it very high. I would rate it a 5-star. I felt like even though it was a slow burn, it kept me very invested.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't really feel like I was falling off of it, and I was very invested in Feyre and Rhys's love story as it like began to develop. And then also, like we said earlier, her going through her trauma, finding herself again, and getting a real family because she hasn't really had that.
Yeah.
Or didn't really have that before. I also, what was it? Oh, okay. So Tamlin's redemption. I went back and forth, and I think I landed somewhere in the middle, but I feel like if he had a redemption arc, I would be okay with that. However, he does not get to have a redemption arc with Feyre. You done fuck that shit up. You can go somewhere else and like start from scratch, start anew, rebuild yourself or whatever the fuck. Try to become a better person. And unless, oh my God, I just realized something. He's the fucking cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz. Shit,
Well,
sorry.
God.
I just had that revelation. I'm sorry. Maybe he can start over. But if he did have redemption in some other way or form, like maybe he sacrificed his life so that Feyre and Rhys could be happy, that could be his redemption. I don't know. But anything else, I'm just like,
So like if they
iffy.
introduced a new character and then Tamlin got with this new character that wasn't Feyre, that would be okay with you?
Red flags.
No.
Red comment.
No. Red flags. Red fucking flags. He doesn't know how to love
Exactly.
anyone. So he needs to learn how to love himself.
So
Well, actually, no, he already does love him fucking self.
yeah, so you don't want him to be with anyone.
You guys are
then?
making this really hard.
I don't want him to have a redemption arc. I have a theory. Like
Mhm.
my theory is like he's gonna be like the ultimate villain. That's what I would want him to actually be. I don't want him to have a redemption arc at all. But that is a very unpopular
Right.
opinion. There's a lot of people that want him to have a redemption arc. So
But then I've also seen floating around that he could end up with Elaine.
What?
people just say that because Elaine plants flowers. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I read more into the theory. People were like, "Oh, Elaine is all spring and it's clear as
Yeah,
day."
Well,
blah, blah.
that's the docile bride that he wanted.
It is.
So
It's
that would
true.
make sense. Yo, if she's Lucian's mate and then she's running around fucking Tamlin, I can't.
I don't think that's what it is, though.
I can't say a lot because I've obviously finished the series, but like there's a lot of things that happen with like Nesta and Elaine now that they're like in Valaris and like High Fae and stuff. So
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that whole dynamic. But in regards to Tamlin having a redemption, no.
I'm saying if he like threw himself on the sword so that
I
Feyre
don't
and
give
Rhys
two
could be
shits.
happy,
If he
which
threw
he
himself-
wouldn't.
If he threw himself on the sword, I hope Feyre and Rhys look and be like, "Well, damn."
Honestly, like if he killed himself like to help like the cause or whatever like that would just basically be like a whole Harry Potter Snape situation all over again, and I just like I couldn't handle that. I don't like Snape either. I mean, I just don't want him to have a redemption arc. But it's the same thing that's happening. It's the same thing. It's like you're so focused on love that nothing else matters. And it's like, that's not true. And it's the same thing with all of the characters in this entire story. Like, they're so focused on love. Like, here we have, like, Tamlin, and now we have Lucian. Like, he's so focused on Elaine now. And, like, that's the only thing that matters.
Can give two shits about Lucian.
That's
Exactly.
Gonna become
And
a
then-
problem. I can already
And then now
tell.
you have
Yeah.
Jurian with, like, Marion. And it's just like...
It's a lot.
Oh God, not Jermaine and Meredith.
Jermaine and Meredith. All right.
Nobody's getting their right name. I'm tired. I'm sick of this shit. I need a goddamn pronunciation chart.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Can you give us a I don't know, not like a synopsis or something of the book with no spoilers, just kind of like, because you've read it, right?
No, look at her face. She's like.
So since you read it, can you give us like just a quick, the book is blah 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 blah, no spoilers type of thing.
Is it another slow burn?
Yeah.
I don't really know how you want me to answer that without spoiling it. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait. Here's the better thing. Describe the book in 5 words.
Yes.
5 words.
Do they have to connect?
They have to connect. That's 5 words. No, they don't have to connect.
Okay.
Oh
Let's do spying, violence.
Okay.
Oh,
we love
intrigue.
Yes.
Sexy times.
Oh, spicy time! Spicy time!
We love spicy time.
Especially when it comes with Daddy Reese.
There is more spicy time in this one, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot in A Court of Silver Flames.
Oh.
That's the one that everyone talks
Give
about.
me a percentage.
Oh, maybe like 15, 20.
Okay, because I was gonna say, is it like King of Battle and Blood spice?
No.
Or is it like a touch of darkness spice?
There's still a lot of plot that they have to get through, right? There's still a lot of plot they have to get through. They can't.
Right.
It can't just be like fairy smut. Like it has to be like. In A Court of Silver Flames, Sarah J. Maas originally said that there was going to be a threesome, but she took it out.
I heard about this.
She took it out, and everyone was so mad because the publisher was like, "There's
between
the
who?
publisher." Oh, I'm not going to tell you that. The publisher was like, "There's too much smut in this story." Because originally the whole series was labeled as YA, now it's not. But the publisher was like, "There's too much smut in this story, you need to cut out smut scenes." So there was supposed to be more.
Okay, wait. Can I ask, hold on, Morgs, who do you think this threesome was with?
Supposed to be with.
I read, right, supposed to be with. I read on the internet of who this was supposed to be, and I was like.
You did? And you were surprised? Okay, Azriel, Elaine, and Lucian.
You got one right.
Interesting. That would be okay. No, actually, though, like that would be a really interesting threesome, just because based on what I know about the series.
Fuck, I don't know.
First off,
but
Elaine is too. I feel like she would be too prudish for this.
That's why I was like, if you were surprised by it, I'm gonna put her name in it.
No. Not Elaine. But you did get one right. You did get one right.
You wouldn't be that surprised with, like, who it is, though. I feel like you wouldn't be. No.
But you were right. Azriel. Yeah, Azriel.
So Azriel, Cassie, and Anesta.
Whew. Imagine that spicy time. You are right.
Yeah, right?
But imagine that spicy time. Bitch!
Oh, now do you understand why the whole fandom is like so upset about this
She should have put it back in. Who was this publisher? She needs to fire her because she obviously was not doing it for the fandom.
Nah. You gotta message Bloomsbury and just be like, hey, why'd you take out that?
You're not doing it for the fandom.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is what we needed.
Which is why I think that she's holding off on like the next books in ACOTAR because she wants to make sure that they are spicy and. Like Crescent City was labeled as adult from the very beginning. So.
Okay.
Oh, for real. I gotta go pick up Crescent City.
Okay.
It's sitting on my shelf.
Crescent City 1 is not spicy. I want to tell you right now, Crescent City 1 is not spicy. It's very heavy in world building, and everyone said it's spicy. I read it. It's not spicy. It's not spicy. Don't go in expecting spice.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me because I would have been very disappointed.
I know. I was very disappointed.
Well, at least we know that the next book that we're going into will have a sufficient amount of spicy time.
Yes, it will. It has a couple of scenes. Yes, it will. It has a couple of scenes.
But yes, so we will be going into A Court of Wings and Ruin. The first chapters that we're going to do is, I know Ashley's going to blow right past this. So let's do 1 through 12. Which means Ashley will actually go up to 20 and she doesn't get to make any predictions.
One sec. Let me grab my book. You should go to at least the end of chapter 13. You won't want to end at 12. There's no way you will end at 12.
All right, so then we will read 1 through 13.
Okay.
Oh, God. It's going to be a 2-hour episode.
This episode? Wait, this episode?
No, the next episode is going to be a 2-hour episode. I swear to God. All right, so yes, next time we will be reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. We will be starting that book, and we will be reading chapters 1 through 13. Ashley?
I wrote it down. I got it.
Did you? You want me to plaster it on the... So you're going to go to 13.
I wrote it down.
Okay. You're not going to go past 13.
I can't make promises.
Yeah, okay. Anywho, you guys, we hope you enjoyed this special episode. And Alexa, thank you so much for joining us. You know you're welcome back any fucking time.
Yes, welcome back anytime.
I would love to come back when you guys do A Court of Silver Flames and talk about that, because that would be...
Yes.
I guess we're just gonna do the whole series through.
We're just doing it. We're putting it out there right now. We're just gonna do the whole series. We're just gonna keep going.
I mean, you've blown through these past
things on my TBR.
But you've blown through these past like 2 books like super quick, and you could do A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Facts.
You could do
that
this
is
quick.
True.
So
okay. Ashley and the fans have determined that we are doing the entire series. So if you don't have it, go ahead and buy it.
We are now a Sarah J. Maas podcast.
Don't
for the next couple of episodes. If you're not reading her stuff, you got to get on it.
You should probably go pick that up.
Right.
But thank you everybody for joining us and for reading along with us. Make sure that you follow Alexa on Instagram at Cozy Blanket Reads. She is absolutely amazing and we adore her. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram and YG, Jesus. Instagram and TikTok. I can't speak. At Wyatt Heart Podcast. Something like that. Go ahead, Ashley. Close this out.
You'll find us. But with that, we just want to say thank you guys for joining us. Hope you had fun. And always say Wyatt at heart.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.